Hey gamer, story time. Summer 2015. I was bored and browsing the PlayStation Plus games for June. What is this? Stealthy dude with a gun and for free? Sign me up. Playing Ground Zeroes was my first interaction with the Metal Gear franchise, and I really enjoyed it, even with its short length and that stupid cursed aux cord. I had no idea what was going on, but I wanted more. And because I was a broke child, I couldn't buy Phantom Pain on release, so I slaved away and got it on sale. My soft, baby, 15-year-old brain was not ready for that opening mission, but after being traumatized, I played one of the best stealth games I had ever gotten my hands on, even if I still didn't understand what was going on. I clocked in around 26 hours of game time until the disaster. My PS4 just started beeping and ejecting my disc and wouldn't stop no matter what I did. My mom sent my PlayStation in to be repaired, and after 2 weeks, I got it back. The pain I felt when turning it on and all my save data was wiped during the repair, I still haven't recovered. All because I'm an idiot and didn't have cloud saves turned on, so I never touched Phantom Pain or Knack again. Now, 8 years later, I decided to get back into Metal Gear, and I knew the perfect place to start. Game opens. We are in an alternate timeline and see the attack on Mother Base from Ground Zeroes and Big Boss before, we are one of the many Mother Base soldiers who died in the battle. Get a quick dick inspection from this guy and get to create our own custom character. We get our casket dropped into the ocean to be fished out later. We learn that a wormhole opened over Mother Base during the battle and we almost got pulled in saving one of our comrades, but it closed, taking our arm with it. We wake up in a lab and the freaky inspector guy saying that we are infected with something, but that something grew our arm back, and he goes on to have an argument with his boss.
Do not take matters into your own hands.
Don't take matters into my own hands, huh? You're now standing in Dite, the world beyond the wormholes.
He sends us into a wormhole to Dite. We make a break for a nearby shelter and find two XOF soldiers, the ones that were attacking Mother Base. One is shot and we have a standoff with the other. We both get attacked by Wanderers, this world's zombies. We try to escape and get saved by the soldier whose name is Reeves. Escaping, we blow up the factory and all the Wanderers inside and make our way to an old Karen Corps base, who were the original expedition team who entered Dite and went silent. We learn this guy's name is Goodluck. We need to establish a base of operation to find the Karen Corps and get back home. And to help us on this mission, we get a flying, split personality AI named Virgil, who makes us captain of this operation. The combat of Survive is the stealth and gun gameplay copied over from Phantom Pain with a new melee system slapped on top. And for what it is, it's not that bad. You get 4 different melee weapons: one-handed, two-handed, heavy, and spear weapons, along with bows and multiple variants of guns. In the early game, you craft a basic crappy spear while using the building and tower defense system of laying down fences, barricades, or traps to lure in the stupid-ass zombies to get Kuban energy, your main currency in the game. Placing stuff down gives you a lot of freedom with how to tackle missions. You go from poking Wanderers through a fence with a stick to building up large defenses with mortars, auto turrets, and machine guns. And I was never bored during the game's combat. In the open world, you will come across containers with outposts and teleporters. When after a round-based mission will be unlocked for fast travel around the map. Most of the open world is covered in a thick layer of fog called the dust. That lowers visibility, and you only have a limited amount of oxygen, so you need to make your time exploring count. You're not completely lost. Lights from containers, outposts, and even the home base can be seen in the distance, so you will always have something to move toward. Dude, these stupid containers had a grip on me during my playthrough, because in every game I play, the more outfits and customization I can do on my character, the more addicted I get to exploring. For the survival aspect, you need to manage your hunger and thirst, which may seem annoying, but they kind of become redundant after a few hours when you build a water purifier or plant crops at your home base. You start out weak, and over the course of the game, buy levels with the Kuban energy you collect from killing zombies, so every kill you get goes towards making you stronger. Yeah, the early game is slow, and I got so pissed when I would die trying to extract, but I get a nice sense of progress when it's a struggle to fight off a dozen zombies. Then later on, you're going invisible, backstabbing and gunning them down by the hundreds. Materials can be found out in the open world and can be received from cases by completing missions or pulling them out of containers. Materials are used to craft new armor, weapons, gadgets, and stuff at your home base. It is dumb when you unlock a new piece of armor and you're missing one material and you can't find it anywhere, but that's where your base comes in. You can place down facilities for clean water, grow crops, or harvest meat and leather from goats you capture while exploring. Base building is cool, but having everything be on a timer like it's some Clash of Clans type mobile game did not get me motivated to care very much about my base or group of survivors. Virgil was an AI companion for the Terran Core who has amnesia, so we needed to go get memory boards to fill out the robot's missing memory. Memory boards secured, a helicopter enters through a wormhole, so we go look for survivors and meet the nurse Miranda. We rescue a few other survivors, with one of them being a boy named Chris. We try opening a wormhole to get home, but it ends badly, with the Wanderers attacking home base. And after the wormhole closes, we get a call from Goodluck's boss. He tells us Goodluck has been relieved from duty and that he is now in control of the D-Tay project. Gruen tells us that by maximizing the output from the wormhole generator, we can finally return home, but the large output of energy attracts the Lord of Dust, this big walking worm-looking ass who patrols the lands of D-Tay. The group retreats into the wormhole and end up not back home, but in the Afghanistan map for MGS5. I mean, the forest area in D-Tay. Goodluck left some recorded messages inside Virgil, and we learn that he game-ended himself, and that Gruen lied to us because he wants us to make a wormhole big enough and powerful enough to have the Lord of Dust pass through into our world, so he can harvest it for energy or whatever. Our new objective is to kill the Lord of Dust so he can't get into our world and destroy it. So we go and collect even more memory boards till we run into a familiar face, the guy we tried to save on Mother Base. We rescue Seth.
Hey people.
And bring him back to the fob. And he says Dan is the reason the Terran Core was wiped out. We learn of a weapon to surpass the Dust Lord and wormhole it back to the home base. Not before Seth betrays us and takes Chris hostage. Turns out Dan from the jungle was the last remaining member of the Terran Core, and Seth was the one who wiped them out because he got infected with the Wanderer virus. We wormhole back to home base. Reeve does a badass takedown of Seth and takes Chris. But of course, he turns into a huge monster and we have a boss fight. Okay, let's wrap this up. So the Wanderer virus is just a bunch of self-replicating nanomachines that infected Seth, who infected Virgil, and is the reason we grew our arm back at the beginning of the game, from our wormhole encounter. Virgil gets her memory back, and we learn that D-Tay isn't another dimension, but our planet in the 22nd century, because the Lord of Dust is a doomsday monster who travels back in time, consumes everything on Earth for a century or two, then repeats it in a continuous time loop. So it's our job to stop it. With our new weapon and some other traps set up, we open another wormhole to attract the Lord of Dust. We all decide to stay behind to stop the time loop. Also, Dan joined us, and we send Chris back to the present to try and get help. We trap the Dust Lord and fire the weapon, but it doesn't kill him. We get the last recorded message from Goodluck, and plot twist, Goodluck is Chris in the present day. When we sent him back, Chris appeared in 1943 and joined the UN and slowly worked his way up to try and find a way to save us, which I didn't see coming. Next we learn that the Lord of Dust doesn't know what death is, so he can't be killed, which is as dumb as it sounds. Virgil sacrifices herself, teaches the Lord of Dust how to die, and we finally win the day. After the credits, Virgil emerges from the Dead Lord's body alive and tells us that we need to survive until we can be rescued, and that's where the story ends. I'm gonna be honest, it's not very good, and the 20-ish hours spent completing the campaign, over half was just collecting memory boards for Virgil. Finally, I will talk about the secret ending. When you send Chris back in the wormhole, you can follow him, which leads to a cutscene showing you in the present day. Turns out, this game is just a very long backstory to the wandering Mother Base soldiers from Phantom Pain. Co-op is where this game truly shines, and is probably the only reason you should even get it. After completing the campaign, I hopped into the co-op mode and searched for a match, but the servers were dead and I couldn't find anybody. Instead, I went on a Metal Gear Survive Discord, yes they exist, sent a message in chat, and found myself a full lobby. I had more fun in my 2 hours of co-op missions than any amount of containers can give me from the campaign. Yes, they were very overpowered and basically carried me the whole time, but if I had a couple friends, doing co-op missions are just a stupid fun time. Also, completing salvage missions gives you 10 times the amount of materials, craftable weapons, and cases. Way more than single player ever gave me. So to say this game was received poorly is an understatement. It was caught in the middle of a drama with the main man behind Metal Gear, Kojima, being forced out, but I am very uneducated on this topic. But from the outside looking in, it was the fact that Konami was asking $40 for what was basically the bones of Phantom Pain, mixed with some microtransaction bullshit. If this game was free to play, it would have probably been taken a little bit better, but speaking honestly, for how much fun I had playing co-op, I'm glad this game failed and the fans were upset. Let's break it down. A company has a beloved story-based stealth franchise. They screw over the creator and visionary of said franchise, then released a game not one single fan wanted, so the players spoke with their wallets. They made Konami probably lose money because of their bad business practices. Did I get it right? If Call of Duty fans did this for one single game, Activision would stop everything they are doing and listen to their fans for once. And that could be said for any game franchise. You know, power to the player and all that. My verdict? Metal Gear Survive has a meh story campaign with some fun combat and round-based gameplay that is elevated when playing with others. I would not recommend playing it for the single player alone, but if someone asked me to do a few rounds of co-op, I would definitely hop on. A middle-of-the-road game caught in a hellstorm from its company's own creation. So real question to the Metal Gear fans, should I play Delta when it comes out, or should I hop back into MGS5? I heard the Master Collection is good now after the updates, because I have literally no idea where to start. Thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you have a great one. Later.